Hello everybody, my name is Kendall, and I hope that you've been doing well. I'm super excited. It's getting chilly out because now I get to bring out my soft, comfy sweaters. So make sure you take advantage of sweater weather and enjoy the cold out. And pick up a good leaf or two. The leaves are so pretty now because they're all changing colors, so see if you can find something and make some crafts with it. Have fun. Before I start the story today, I just wanted to say that I don't speak Spanish, but I'm going to try my very best. So feel free to correct me on pronunciations in the comments or let me know how I did. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying these books. And if you guys want me to keep doing them, I'd love to get your feedback in the comments below. So let me know how that's doing and let me know what else you guys want to see. Today we're going to be reading a book called Grandma's Records by Velasquez. Para mi abuela Carmen Maldonado, esta canción es para ti. For my grandmother Carmen Maldonado, this song is for you. Every year, right after the last day of school, I'd pack a suitcase with my summer clothes, my favorite toys, and a sketchbook. Then my dog Daisy and I were off to my grandma's apartment in El Barrio. Because my parents worked, Grandma's apartment was my summer home. From the time my parents dropped me off until the day they picked me up, Grandma wrapped me in her world of music. Sometimes, when she played a record, we would dance together. Other times, she would dance alone and tell me stories about growing up in Puerto Rico. When Grandma played merengue from the Dominican Republic, her hips would sway from side to side as her favorite salsa record played. She'd say, "Just listen to that conga," while she played an imaginary drum. Grandma liked all types of music, but one record was very special to her. Whenever she played it, she would put her hand over her heart, close her eyes, and sing along. When it was over, Grandma would sometimes sit quietly, thinking about Grandpa and the old days in Saint-Tercy, her hometown. Sometimes, Grandma said, a song can say everything that is in your heart as if it was written for you. My favorite days were the ones when Grandma would tell me, "You pick the records today." No matter what I would choose, Grandma would always say, "Siempre me gusta tu selección." I always liked your selection. Sometimes I would sneak in Grandma's special song just to watch her put her hand over her heart and sing. Then she'd always ask, "¿Cómo tú sabes?" How did you know? If it was too hot outside, I'd spend hours looking through Grandma's album covers. I'd pick out my favorites and make sketches of the art. As I drew, I could see the record covers coming to life and the bands performing right there in Grandma's living room. Grandma never went to any nightclubs to see her favorite bands perform. She was happy to stay home with me and listen to her scratchy records. But Saint-Tercy was home to hundreds of musicians, and she knew a lot of people who played the records. Grandma's nephew Sammy played percussion in Rafael Cortijo's band, the best band in Puerto Rico. One day, when the band was in town, Sammy brought over Cortijo, the band's lead singer, Ismael Riviera, for a surprise visit. Home-cooked meals were hard to come by on the road, and they couldn't pass up on the chance to taste Grandma's favorite arroz con gandules, rice and pigeon peas. While eating dessert, Sammy had another surprise for Grandma. 2 tickets to the band's first New York concert, and their brand new record, which wasn't even in the stores yet. I raced over to the record player, thrilled to be the first New Yorker to hear their latest music. The next day, Grandma and I spent all day shopping for clothes to wear for the show. She even made me get a haircut. The theater was all the way up in the Bronx. We took the subway there, and Grandma was nervous during the whole ride. When we got to the theater, we walked right past the long line of people and went right inside because of our special tickets. The theater was bigger than all the movie theaters I have ever gone to. The band made a spectacular entrance. Suddenly, the theater went dark. Tiny lights glittered, and a loud siren filled the air. I heard Grandma gasp, "Ah, Dios mío! Oh my God!" She thought that something was wrong. The darkened stage seemed to fill with people running back and forth in confusion. Next, everything went dark again. A loud and steady conga beat began. Boom, bak, boom, bak, boom, bak. Then the lights came on with a loud boom, and the band began to play the song El Bon Bon de Elena. Elena's candy. Grandma and I were surprised at how different the music sounded live. The musicians made familiar songs sound fresh by adding new musical phrases and words. Before the last song began, Ishmael said, "This one goes out to Carmen," and pointed over to Grandma, and he sang her a special song. I looked at her. She put her hand over her heart, raised the other hand and closed her eyes and began to sing along. Ishmael was singing to my grandma. I looked around and realized that everyone in the theater had their hands over their hearts too. After the show, we went backstage. I asked Ishmael how he knew about Grandma's song. He explained that the song was about coming to a new country and having to leave those you love behind. People put their hands over their hearts to show that their hearts remain in Puerto Rico, even though they may be far away. Now I understand why Grandma's song was so special to so many people. Over the next days and weeks, Grandma and I put on our own shows imitating Cortijo's band. Grandma wished such a special night had been captured in a recording so that she could listen to it again and again. But even then I knew a concert is so special because it leaves you with a memory of a magical moment in time. As I got older, I started bringing over my records to play for Grandma. Brazilian music, jazz, even rap. She loved listening to it all. Even now, when I'm playing CDs in my studio, I imagine I'm back in Grandma's living room and she turns to me and said, "You be the DJ today. Siempre me gusta tu selección." And as I work, Grandma's special song surrounds me. I think music is such an important part of life. It tells so many good stories. So if you haven't listened to music from other countries, I'd give it a listen. And this song also reminds me of my grandparents because I actually have his old records of Elvis and of Fats Domino, which I have yet to listen to, but I'm slowly working through the pile of records he gave me. And ever since I was little, I grew up with music, so it's fun to see me represented in this story, and hopefully you guys felt the same way too. Being able to share music with your family is super important. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's story. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment with anything you want me to do in the future. You know, if you want to do craft videos, if you want to see my pumpkins that I'm gonna carve, if you want to, I don't know, have me read a different book, let me know and I'd be happy to accommodate that. With that being said, always remember, treat yourselves. Ha, get it? Get it? Treat yourself? Never mind. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!